come so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. But it comes to the end of my life. Jesus saved me in time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Jesus saved me in time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. But it comes to the end of my life. Jesus saved me in time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. But it comes to the end of my life. Jesus saved me in time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes. That has come to me. But it comes to the end of my life. Jesus saved me in time. That has come to me. It is here in the Father's kingdom. It was there for me. You took me, and you washed away my sins. You washed away.
You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. There we go. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, days, and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. And I am, hot damn, I am joined by Canada's favorite son. He showed up today. Bradley's here. Hi, Bradley.
Hello. How's my mic? Good?
Oh yeah, you're sounding great. You're sounding great.
I haven't used it on this show in a while.
Yeah, so we're gonna address that real quick. There has been this not even almost, this hilarious running gag in our Facebook group that I've asked Bradley to come on probably 10 times in the last 3 months, and it's like, yeah, I'd love to come on. Now, to be fair, I did cancel last Sunday. That was me. I canceled last Sunday because I woke up and I was like, oh my God, talking on mic sounds exhausting. I'm going back to bed. So that is me. I will own that one. But Canada, like the last 12 times I've asked him like an hour beforehand something has hilariously come up, and it's like, oh my god, like what, like the Will Smith meme, the "how come he don't want me," man. It's just been it's been that over and over again. But Canada does have another engagement, so we will keep this somewhat short, around the hour mark. But real quick before we dive in, man, how are you, man? How's your day?
Good. What is it, Monday?
Monday, yeah, the start of the week.
Oof.
Dude, I know. I know, dude. Mondays are always just like, I'm like, can we just get this shit over with? Like, there is no, like, I don't know what it is. I'll call it like if I were to call it on a day, I'd call it on a Monday. I don't even call it on like Fridays. I'm like, it's Friday. I can get through it. Something about Mondays just feels heavier. So yeah, I'm very excited to be through this day, because it's downhill from here, people. It's downhill from here. So you're doing great. If you showed up to work today, you're doing great. I'm very proud of you. All right, so we're gonna just dive in here. Lanterns premiered last night on HBO Max, replacing House of the Dragon, their time slot, which from people I've talked to have said really good stuff about House of Dragon this past season. They're excited for the last season next year.
Oh, is it already the final season?
Apparently it's the final season.
Wow.
So now we say that, but they also said Ted Lasso was ending with season 3. So I mean, what do we
right, let them dragons go with all those
ratings. Dude, exactly. HBO might see those ratings and go, fuck that. It's like they
got a universe going though. They could just call it something else.
They could, yeah. They're like, yeah, we're gonna get Baby Dragon Tales at some point. Actually, Dragon Tales is a good show on PBS. So I mean, maybe that's the next step. they'll have the kids. But I was excited going into this because, of course, the showrunner of this, or one of the showrunners, is a Damon Lindelof, who, of course, we know from being a producer on Lost, which, I'll be real, I was never into Lost. I never got it. Like, I was in college when Lost was on, and I know so many people. That's the thing. Like when people ask me, they're like, oh, like, because you've asked me, they're like, oh, are you not a big like water cooler shows guy? I'm like, it doesn't affect me at all. Like, if there's a show I just don't give a shit about, I won't watch it. And Lost, and the more I heard about Lost, I'm just like, oh, this feels like a show that would piss me off. So I just never. So I watched the first season, and I never got past first season, which I do a lot, honestly. People, sometimes I just don't care enough to keep going, but he was a producer on that. He was a producer on The Hunt, which was one of the first COVID movies. I dug The Hunt quite a bit. And then he was a producer on The Leftovers, and a showrunner and producer on this little show called Watchmen, which is one of the best things HBO has ever produced. So going into this, the bar a bit high, admittedly. I do think it's and I haven't seen it yet, so I'll kind of refer to you because I think you might have seen it. The amount of people I've seen who have seen Supergirl, I would be remiss to point out that a lot of them are clearly feel like bitter men, but I'll get to that in a moment. The amount of people I've seen already go, oh my god, James Gunn's DCU, it's off the rails already. I'm like, really? I'm like, we're in doom and gloom. We're going doom and gloom already? Like, Jesus Christ, like, one movie, like, goddamn, like, it's fascinating how that works, isn't it? How quickly people are ready to flip that switch, or like, let's kill it with fire. It's like, oh my god, like I remember saying that shit when Man of Steel came out. I was like, oh man, this might be done before that gets off the ground, and people are like, no. One Supergirl movie, it's over. Like, fuck Creature Commando, fuck the Penguin, fuck Peacemaker, fuck that good super, fuck everything else. One bad Supergirl movie, burn it. Just fuck out of here. Like God, I didn't know Nathan had so many accounts. It's just fucking it's amazing to me. I love you, Nathan, but
I don't think anybody who saw it hated it. Like for it to
I
be,
not true. Not now. I mean,
I don't have like a Twitter or anything, so
I don't either. But like
okay. Where are
I'm
you getting all the everyone I've talked to is even people who don't like it and have been like, oh man, well, I guess
I
Millie Alcock in the next 3 to 5 movies will show us though. Like they
right. It's well, it's funny
because
because
they all
like
like her performance, and I do as well.
I have Threads, and that's like starting to come now. I haven't been called. I haven't had anyone
I
drop
don't
an
have
N
Threads,
word.
but I hear
Oh,
it's
okay,
pretty
okay.
brutal
See,
on there.
that's
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Threads. Well, Threads is like
Mhm.
Threads is bad, but it's not Twitter bad. At least the
Okay.
spaces I'm in right now, because like I don't interact with WWE fans, and I don't interact with like Trump fans. I'm pretty much like have that shit blocked for the most part. So yeah, I'm staying away from those two very toxic spaces. Everything else, I'm kind of having like good spirited debate. At least so far. We'll see. But yeah, going into this, I was like, all right, let's see. And even James Gunn, when they did the whole reveal of what part of Gunn's DCU was going to look like, he said this was going to be a True Detective style show that happens to star Green Lantern, and I was like, okay, that sounds kind of interesting. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty impressed from the pilot how much it feels exactly like that. I was like, oh yeah, this is True Detective, but it happens to have like Green Lantern shit attached to it. And when I say True Detective, I mean like good True Detective. I'm not talking about that Jodie Foster one or the one or like Vince Vaughn trying to do dude. Like I'm sorry, man. Like I'm sure Vince Vaughn wants to be a dramatic actor, but
Sure, yeah.
dude, leave that shit in the same bag where your Psycho performance was, because I don't I don't need.
Oh, that's right, the Gus Van Sant one, right?
Oh, such garbage. Like it's funny too. I saw that version of Psycho before I saw the original, and I was like, holy shit, this sucks. So like I thought it was bad before I saw the original. So yeah, not great. But let me just kind of just dive in here. So this is actually doing some time jumping too. So we start off in 1996, and we have a young John Stewart, who of course will end up being played by light-skinned brother Aaron Pierre, who just cannot seem to get away from white people harassing him in small towns. That's almost it's almost like his curse. But we see him early on in the show, and he is watching 60 Minutes basically, and we see a younger Hal Jordan played by my mortal enemy Kyle Chandler, who I've had a couple of people ask me like, why do you hate Kyle Chandler? Canada touched on it in our chat. It's Friday Night Lights. Just from jump, I was like, I don't like this dude. He's always annoyed me. I've always found him just like, I've always found him. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I mean, watch, I'm going to say that there'll be some scandal comes out and be like, I told you he sucked. But
it's been a long time. I mean, something would have come out by now, right?
I mean, how long did it take for him to get Cosby?
No, but yeah, that's the worst apologetic attitude,
Yeah, so it's like, like
redacted.
To be fair, yeah, sometimes it takes a little while, but I will say between Argo and even him in The Rip, and like I actually watched The Anniversary, liked him in that. Like,
I didn't see The Rip. That was this year, right?
Yeah, that was the Matt Damon.
Oh, what about in Wolf of Wall Street, the FBI agent?
Yeah, like that's the thing. I like him in roles. Just when he has a very what I think it is too. He has a very punchable face. Like whenever I see him, I'm just like, God damn, someone needs to just punch you in the mouth right now. Like
he's playing to that strength in this role for sure.
Dude, thank you. Seriously, in this, oh my God, he's begging to get punched in the face. Like he is such a dick. Like every time he calls John Stewart Jr., I was like, oh, okay, dude. Like you were just begging for him to grab that ring and just punch you in the face. He doesn't even conjure something. He can just hit you with the ring right in the eye. But so okay. I've read a good amount of Green Lantern. I will be the first to admit I haven't read Green Lantern in like 6-7 years. So it's been a little while, probably since lockdown. I would say is the last time I probably was reading proper. But I do have a decent amount of Green Lantern knowledge, and I will say for me, there's enough here that I think you could guess, and I'll get into my big swings here in a bit because, of course, it's a comic book property. Of course, I'm gonna have big swings, but Canada. I'm curious about your relationship with Green Lantern and what were your initial thoughts were.
I don't have much of a relationship at all. I caught the Jeff Johns run back in when everyone was talking about Jeff Johns.
Yeah,
I caught I know all the basic lore, like very basic lore, like Yellow. Oh no, I am powerless to Yellow, which is just a part of the DCU, right? Like you're pretty much a god, but your weakness is ridiculous, and you will turn into a toddler if it's around.
Well, it's like
that's all of them in a way, right?
Yeah, I mean, I always have to point out to Superman fans, and they hate this shit, but it's like technically Superman, you could kill Superman with prayer. Like yeah. I just have to point that out to people.
Technically, like, David Copperfield could give Superman a run for his money because magic, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, if he meets Copperfield and Chris Angel, Superman is fucked. That would be an amazing comic. Just like Chris Angel and David Copperfield, like their hands up like this, and Superman is like.
and right. I caught the arc when Hal Jordan went crazy, I suppose.
Yeah. He loses. Yeah, he loses his shit.
He goes on a Archer style rampage because of something happened to West Coast City, I think.
Actually, yeah, that's actually very top marks. Yeah, he just loses his goddamn mind, which is
and I know about Kyle Rayner being everyone's favorite for a while, but then he just kind of disappeared, and I'm not sure if he disappeared because of Crybaby controversy or if something happened with copyright issues. It's just one day Kyle's there, and then suddenly he's gone completely. And I'll admit, I'm not good at tracking down issues or trades or anything like that to read up on this stuff. Now that everything's going digital, that's changed, of course.
Of course, yeah.
But back then I was like, I guess Kyle Rayner's gone. Okay, then. And John Stewart, of course, we all know about him.
That's my dude.
He was the standout from the Justice League cartoon, the original and Unlimited. And just from that vocal performance alone, honestly, he's been my favorite Green Lantern.
Yeah, that was my first like big introduction to Green Lantern because I wasn't reading Green Lantern as a kid. Green Lantern was something I got into like 06, 07. Ironically enough, right around the time that the Reynolds movie came out, which whoops, that was
who was Ryan Reynolds playing? Was he Kyle? Was he Hal Jordan?
He's Hal. Yeah, he's Hal. It's
interesting take on Hal Jordan,
dude. It's real funny to go back and watch because it's funny. I actually rewatched that like 3 years ago, and like Angela Bassett is like a man. It's like a man. I can't remember if she's Amanda Waller in that. Bassett has played Amanda Waller before, but
that's
she's
awesome.
She's in there, and then like Blake Lively is the love interest, which like you could argue if that's been a good thing or a bad thing for his career, but that's a whole other conversation.
I think it's probably a good thing, I mean,
probably, yeah.
Well,
not if your name's Justin.
That's so it's just so personal. Who you're with shouldn't affect your career. I guess it's a whole different can of worms.
I was about to say, I'm like, yeah, depends on who you're with, man, because. Yeah, sure. Cheryl Hines is married to RFK Jr. and she got her ass kicked off Curb because of that shit. So it's like,
man.
So it's like,
oh man.
So it really does depend on who you're with.
You can't blame me for that.
Yeah. Wow, that was really good actually. But yeah, I got into Green Lantern around that time, and I'll be the first to admit. Kind of a kick in the ball sack, like watching that Green Lantern movie and going like, oh, like kind of like I would imagine if you were hyped for Green Hornet and then you watch Green Hornet, you'd be like, oh, wow, maybe I don't want to read Green Hornet anymore. Like, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you should read Green Hornet. There's some great stuff there, but also read Green Lantern. There's some really great Green Lantern stuff. If you like your space operas and just your dramatic shit in general, Green Lantern is a lot of fun to read. Stewart has obviously been my guy, as you mentioned, because of Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. That was my first introduction to him. Then I went back and read stuff. I think going into this, they have a lot of boxes to check because you have to get a good Hal Jordan performance. You're catching the audience up because Jordan has been around since 96 in this universe, which, if you remember from Superman, puts it right around the time of the destruction of Krypton. So that actually does line up. So you could even tie that in if you wanted to, which I feel like they're going to, because we do know that John Stewart is going to be in the next Superman film. They did confirm that. So I think there's some reasons why they're connecting some shit here early. But one of the things that just tripped me out from Jump is that when John Stewart gets home, John Stewart Sr., as he's listed, he goes ahead and sees John. He's like, all right, we're going out to the backyard. And you're like, oh, cool. They're going to play catch, or, they're black, maybe play basketball. And no, not what he does at all. He puts an apple on his fucking head and goes, hey, I'm going to shoot this off. And I just went, oh, that is fucking horrible. I don't like that you're doing this at all. But if you look, and I love kind of the perverse way that this is handled, if you look behind John, you see all the bullet holes. So it's almost like this fucked up measuring chart, like you see in so many kids films, and you're like, oh, they've been doing this for a while. Like, this is not a one-off. Like, what the fuck? And the way he even goes up and taps him on the shoulder, like, good job. It's like, oh, it's like, that is fucked up. But I think that was my first kind of, that's interesting, because the fact he asks him, are you afraid? After he does that, I went, okay, do you know about this shit? Do you know about the Green Lantern stuff? And that will go to a big swing that I have later on. But I will simply say I think John Sr. knows more than we're aware of currently. But I will come back to that. So we go ahead and flash forward 10 years to 2006, or wait, is that right?
I think it was 16.
2016. That's right. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, that's right. 6 to 16. And we see Aaron Pierre's John Stewart in the lab doing work, punching the heavy bag, ripped as hell, which him being military, that tracks. And I appreciate just from Jump, Hal is just being a dick. He's like, oh, I'm hungover. Oh, I'm late. Oh, does that bug you? And John just kind of looks at him like, no, it doesn't bother me. But it's so, from Jump, it's like, I'm gonna poke at this dude and see how much I can be an asshole until he just fucking snaps. Like, it's basically Kirk and Spock, if you want to look at it in those terms. Like, that's essentially what he's doing. He's like, I'm gonna prod this motherfucker until he finally snaps. And they're driving up the road, still prodding him. He goes, oh yeah, hey, here's the ring. Meet me up this taco place 3 miles up the road. Hal jumps out of the car, leaves John to die in the car, because if he doesn't grab that ring, he's fucked. Like he falls off the cliff, game over. And yet, so he gets the ring and covers himself in bubble wrap, which, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that would be, you know what, I can't even say that. That's a lie. I was gonna say, like, that would be, I'd be more practical, but I know my high ass, I'd be like, oh, let's make a Green Lantern Sunday. let's do let's do that. Let me get a giant manhole cover and just hit someone with it. Like, I'd have some fun with that fucking ring. But I think one thing that I found really interesting, and I definitely want to get your thoughts on this, is that Hal only uses the ring a couple times to make shit. and both things are very like self-serving things. Like he creates a bottle opener to open this girl's beer slash impress her, because like the way he even like goes like like blows the shit away, it's like, you cocky little shit. So there's that. But then the other thing he does is that he makes money. He makes a $20 bill and puts it in a jukebox and plays the same song over and over again, which I won't lie, I actually admire that level of trolling, that he wanted to get into a fight so bad. He's like, I'm gonna play this song and repeat until these fucking like rednecks snap on me. Like I appreciate that bit, even though it's a dumbass plan. I did appreciate the bit. What were kind of your thoughts on Chandler in this, and what were you kind of thinking about his portrayal of Hal so far?
Oh yeah, I think he's kind of a petty jerk. I think the work of Nathan Fillion and Superman really set up a lot of the how these space cops operate. Because, you know, I told my kids, like, because I watch it with the older ones. Anyone under 15 in my house obviously can't watch a Lindelof show. Like, I'm not ready to have those heavy conversations with children.
Completely valid. Yeah. Probably a good call. Yeah.
They're like, so why doesn't he just walk up to the redneck and punch him, or walk into the police station and say, excuse me, out of the way, I'm going to talk to this guy. Shut up. I'm a Green Lantern. I was like, oh, well, they took an oath, remember? So they look up the oath, and they're like, and they were amazed. They're like, whoa, look at all these rules he has to follow. I guess he is kind of following them. And then my older kid, who's more of a people are sketchy thinker, he's like, not really. He's kind of being an asshole about this.
yeah, that's very accurate.
He's still following the rules, you know, because the oath matters. And they're like, huh, that's interesting. So already we're having conversations about what is duty and how do you get what you want and walk that line of following the rules when you hate the rules. And with Hal Jordan, it almost seemed like a clever, fun time for him to be like, oh, I'll start a fight. I'll start a fight in a bar. And then I'll get thrown in the tank, and then I'll interrogate. Like, yeah, that's silly, but that's really fun that he's just all over the place. He almost seems bored.
Yeah.
And one of the sheriffs points it out, like, I don't know if he's fearless. He seems more lonely than fearless. And a lot of people, from what I've read, who have like a profound sadness, for lack of a better term, they do come across as fearless. And I'm wondering other than the backstory that Hal Jordan gives us in that opening, which is very well done.
Yes, it is.
What is Hal Jordan sad about? Like, the most content and happy we see Hal Jordan, no spoilers, obviously I'm going to be vague, is the final shot we see of him in this episode. And there's just something very upsetting about that. And that's got me hooked for next week, which I thought I'd be like, you know, after the pilot.
Yeah.
But they certainly are writing this in a way that it's good, I think, that it's not dropped all at once. If it was, I'd have seen all of it by now because I was pretty hooked.
Yeah, so we will get to the twist ending, but we will save that for a little bit of a spoiler bit, because it is like, it's one of those things. When I got to the end, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh shit. Like, no, it was one of those things I went, oh, okay, like, okay, we're jumping to hell. What? And then it was like, oh, this makes me fuck. All right, I got a lot to think about now. So I actually watched it last night and woke up this morning before work and watched it again, because I was actually like that. I was like, okay. But kind of jumping around here, because again, trying to be somewhat vague. There is a dude in here. What's his name? William Mackin, who is like the head of this family of people who live out on this ranch. And I'm not gonna lie, to kind of go Rush Hour 2, you know, follow a rich white man. This dude gives me the heebie-jeebies. There's something about this motherfucker. As soon as I saw him, I was like, yep, don't like you. I was like, I don't know what it is about you, but you were giving me a vibe like you would play the Deliverance theme whenever like a black person accidentally like ended up in your driveway. Like you would do some shit like that. And I one thing I will say too that I really dug is that the conversations that William is having with Hal are, they're friendly, but there is a level of like ick as they continue on where you're like, ugh. And even Hal, like one thing that I think you mentioned that's completely fair is that Hal does come across very lonely in this, but he also comes across like someone who's seen a lot of shit. Because if you follow the pardon me, the DCU timeline that they're kind of laying out, if Superman, if Krypton's destroyed like 96, 97-ish, Hal is like the first metahuman that's like acknowledged in this timeline. So I think an interesting conversation, I think that's going to be part of this show, is not just how the public sees these metahumans, as we saw in like Superman and have seen like Supergirl and like Peacemaker, etc., but also like what his public perception was like in 96 and how it's changed, 30 years later, and the ups and downs of that. Because like Hal Jordan, as heroic as he is, as most heroes do, they fuck up. And learning that training on the job, like Green Lantern, they don't teach you how to handle PR and shit. So if someone has a vendetta against you and you do something even remotely wrong, how do you handle that, and without letting fear potentially break down how good of a Green Lantern you could be? I think there's some very interesting conversations to be had there. In terms of the actual power set, I really like how John has had multiple times where the ring has been near him, and he's only really used it the one time in the car. I like that they're taking their time. They're not just going to give him the ring. Like, he is going to, as Hal said, the only way you'll get this ring is over my fucking, my dead fucking body, which, but yeah, you saw, well, you say motherfucker, but a couple other things. I know he doesn't sound like that. Shut up. But I really like Sheriff Carey in this. So this is where we're gonna kind of start getting into the nitty-gritty stuff. So she drops this line in the pilot about how she can't do this again, in terms of when Hal and John show up on the scene after this murder has happened. I don't think she's talking about the investigation. I think she's talking about Green Lanterns as a whole. I personally think she's an alien. I don't know if she's a manhunter, but I think she's an alien. It seems too convenient. And it feels like she's gone through this a time or two. So I think she's been in the town a decent amount of time. Maybe she's someone that got screwed over by the Lanterns. The Lanterns do kind of have a bit of a history. They are very much like Starfleet in that way. It's like, oh, we fucked you over. Oh, well, yeah, we probably did. We are Starfleet. Hear us roar. So I could see her potentially being a part of a sector that got wiped out potentially. But I think her and Hal have met each other before. I don't think this introduction that we're seeing of them is the first time that they've interacted. That's what I will say. Also, this show could not have laid out any clearer that John Stewart Sr. is a dead man. He is not, he is not making it through the season, because the moment that Hal talks about in the 60 Minutes footage about how he has nothing to fear, because once you've lost a parent, you have nothing to fear. I was just like, oh, so he's a goner. Like, there's no way. Like, I was like, you might as well said this is your last day on the force. Like, I was like, there's no fucking way he's getting through this season. So watch he makes it through the season, and I'm like, fuck you. But like, there's no way he's not getting through the season. Get the fuck out of here. Pardon me. But I thought that was an interesting little tidbit. another couple things I'm gonna throw out because I'm just kind of rapid firing now. The way the whole family that we're introduced to, William Macon, like I said, is the kind of like the patriarch. You got Sheriff Carey, and then you have Zoe. Zoe meets up with Hal and John in this bar, and when Hal is getting his ass kicked, she's talking to John, and John is just kind of making conversation. And I won't lie, when he makes the point that there can only be one Green Lantern at a time in one sector, like one Green Lantern on Earth, I was like, why are you telling her that? Don't say shit like that. Like, that's a dumb fucking thing. It's because the first thing I thought is, oh, if she has someone to tell, which she clearly does, that feels like a pretty important piece of information that you wouldn't want someone that could be a threat to you to know. And I think that's gonna tie in later on, because I think I know I said that I think Sheriff Carey is an alien. I think she's a manhunter. That's my personal. I mean, she gets her man at some point, but I think she's a manhunter. but I think she's a manhunter in this, because we do already know that the manhunters will factor in, and that they are at least part of the antagonists in this show. It would be pretty cool if we got a Martian Manhunter name drop. I think we are potentially heading that direction, and again, I will save that for big swings. But Zoe, she gives me bad vibes, and the fact that William seemed to be totally okay with her sleeping with John, I was just like, I'm like, yeah, it feels weird. Like you don't seem like the type to be a cuck. No judgment, obviously, but maybe. I mean, he wouldn't be the first white guy to want a black guy to cuck his wife, I suppose. But maybe
kink culture type of thing.
I no comment, but
it's very small town.
Yeah.
Garrett Dillahunt is the actor, and he, to your credit, he usually plays, I'm unassuming and welcome to my home characters with but here's the truth of it reveal. And I'm just going off of his work. That's not a spoiler or anything. But no, because something about his performance and why they would choose him for this role.
Because he's an asshole in 12 Years a Slave. He's an asshole. He's an asshole in No Country for Old Men. He's an asshole in Deadwood. Like, he's an asshole in everything. So like, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. Like, I know at some point, like, he's gonna be like, ha ha ha, like, and I'm gonna be like, oh god damn it. But it's just a matter of how bad he is. Like, is he like, I know Sinestro bad, which that is my big swing. I think the big thing is that he has this line, and I'm trying to see if I have the line specifically. He's talking to Hal, and he says, I'm a student of history. One of the big things about Sinestro is that Sinestro was also himself obsessed with history and was obsessed with learning about the past to go ahead and protect the Green Lantern's future before he, of course, breaks bad. I think that him and Sinestro have crossed paths before, whether it's on this planet or another. And I think that Sinestro is basically kind of giving him the heads up, like, dude, like at some point I'm going to be running shit up here. Best be prepared. I believe there's something there with him. And to tie that back, because my biggest swing here, oh god, I know his character name is William, where they saying the last name is Macon.
Macon,
right?
Yeah,
Macon. I think he's William Hand, who is the villain Black Hand, who's a classic Green Lantern villain. It would be very easy to make that pivot. and just be like, I mean, fuck it, I changed my last name, fuck you. Like that's a very easy, thing to do. But also the
Mhm.
fact that Hand got the power to go ahead and drain people of their life force after being experimented on by aliens. I think that's your tie-in right there. I think it's a very easy connection to make there, because there's something about this dude. Like, he knows way more than he should, and the statements he's even making about uh people being aliens and wanting to make sure that only people who were born here, which he straight up says to Hal, like,
Mhm.
I want to make sure that people that the only the people that are born here are safe. I was like, what? I was like, excuse you, what the shit? So there definitely feels like there's like, we're talking about it, but there is another shoe that's going to drop, and it's going to be with him, most likely. But I'm really excited to see what they go ahead and do with him. Yeah, kind of your thoughts on like the family and all that. Like where the vibes are getting, Canada.
I think it's going to be a very slow burn. I mean, you've covered it. They're trying to solve a pretty obvious crime. From what I could tell, what was it? A couple people were shot, almost with tons of witnesses around, but everyone's like, "What happened?" Nobody knows what happened. Dead bodies. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
everything went crazy after gunshots went off. All right, well, who saw anything? I don't know, man. Lots of people see things. So already, I'm like, these fucking small towns.
But you know what though? That's exactly how they would play it. Like, the moment they saw a
Yeah.
black person, they'd be like, "We don't know a goddamn thing. What are you
I
talking about?"
don't know. Lots of people are shouting stuff.
Yeah.
So something's going on that's going to tie into something bigger, but that bigger thing is going to tie into something simple again. Like, sometimes people are just terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, very true, very accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what it has to do with aliens is very like Hal Jordan is very different than this William Macon guy, but his approach was also very, come on, Hal, it's pretty fucked up. And he kind of gloats about being right in his assumption. He's like, oh, something alien going on here. It's like kind of presumptuous. And then he gloats later when he's like, definitely alien. I'm telling you, that's just as problematic, Hal.
Dude, he's like, honestly, I was watching that. I was like, oh my god, he's like me when I call a twist on like one of these comic book things. Like, that's exactly what he's like. Oh, I told y'all. I'm like, why are you surprised? Like, it would be easier if you just listened to me. And it's funny. Like, I watched that little bit of Leia, and she literally looked over at me. She's like, oh my god, you do this. And I was like, oh, I'm happy you clocked that, because I said the same. Because I said the same thing. It's like, don't know if that's a good thing or not, but.
Hanging out with the Macon family, I wanted to say real quick, Jon Stewart sees little Macon boy trying to throw the ball around, and he's fine. It's perfectly fine. But it's not fine. It's not fine if this kid wants to make a pro team. And
no, fuck
John
no.
picks up on that immediately and gives him some advice. And the kid takes the advice, really takes to it really well, and starts throwing the ball better. And was like, oh, awesome. When Jon Stewart says, my dad, like, I was all, oh, no.
I thought the same thing. I was like, shut the fuck up. Do not say that. Like, that is like, you are going to scare this little white kid away. Do not
traumatize this kid. He's going to get a core memory drowning in trauma that doesn't belong to him. But then they're interrupted. But what do you think of that? How John is, I don't want to say ignorant to how awful he's been treated. Yeah, ignorant's not the right word at all. But he seems to be the perfect candidate for the Lantern program, because him and Hal Jordan kind of, I don't want to be like, are built different or anything silly like that, but kind of because they've, you said it earlier, seen some shit, we could say.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
John has seen some shit way sooner.
I think it's going to be interesting how they kind of get into, because that's from like New 52 that John would do military. That's like part of his origin from that.
Oh,
And
really? Wow.
yeah. So
Some good things came out of the New 52, it seems.
I know not a ton, but there were people. New 52 gets rough, y'all. Like it's like, I know people give the Ultimate Universe shit, but at least you got Miles. Like there's some rough shit in New 52, but no, I was having this same thought. Like I was yelling at the screen. I'm like, do not tell this little white boy about how your dad used to shoot apples off your, like, don't tell him that. But I also got a very hard laugh because I was like, oh wow, this is like the Legend of Bagger Vance in 20 seconds. Like I'd way rather watch this than the whole Bagger Vance movie.
Well, I do like that he gave him like real advice on how to throw a football.
He did. No, exactly. Like he gave him actual, like, he's like, don't overthink it. Take a deep breath. Like this is where you aim. Like he actually gave him like actual practical advice too, because it's form. Like the way he actually changed his form up, and I went, oh, he actually is like teaching this kid. And then of course, luckily this kid apparently has like spider sense because he walked away before John could go. Like, oh yeah, my dad, he used to
Maybe
shoot
he wasn't
going
to say anything scary, but
no,
dad,
he was.
Yeah, Jon Stewart's dad comes off as very horrifying, a very scary individual. It's almost like he's a trophy dad, and the trophy is a lantern ring. I picked up on that.
1,000%. No, that's why I think he knows more about Green Lanterns than he's letting on, because the way that he asks, "Are you afraid?" Like that being the core value of what gets you a lantern ring. What my big theory is, because if y'all, for those of you who've read Green Lantern, you have Jon Stewart, become Jon Stewart, in the 80s, gets a Green Lantern ring, etc. I think that they're going to tweak it a little bit so that Jon Stewart Sr. was supposed to be a Green Lantern, and maybe they rescinded the shit. Maybe his wife dying, because obviously they've done different iterations of Stewart's origin, but in most of the origins, Stewart's mom is the prevalent parental figure, and his dad is the piece of shit. So what I'm thinking is maybe Jon Stewart Sr. was supposed to get that Green Lantern ring. Maybe he was next in line, and maybe losing his wife filled him with so much fear that they were like, nah, dude, like we can't have you be the Green Lantern. And if you remember too, typically it's I think the ranking in terms of like how they're introduced is Hal John, then Guy Gardner. What I'm thinking is maybe when Jon Stewart Sr. had his breakdown or whatever, and he no longer was able to become a Green Lantern, that's when they fast tracked Guy Gardner. So that's why you have Guy Gardner being the first Green Lantern. That's my theory, at least. And I think that's where we get more of the development between John and Hal. Because the fact that John is even calling his dad, talking to him about trying to be a Green Lantern, and he seems so knowledgeable about it. It's like, okay, like this, like that's weird. Why is he so knowledgeable about this? So I think there's something there. So you heard it here first. If that's if that's the case. Couple other things. I want to see if there's anything else I wanted to touch on. I think there is a lot of, and I don't want to spoil the arc, so I'll just say, but one of the more relevant Green Lantern arcs looks like they're pulling from is Emerald Dawn. So if you've read Emerald Dawn, you might, kind of like myself, you might be going like, wait a minute, what about this? What about this? You might be picking up on these potential little things. If you haven't read Emerald Dawn, don't read it, because I think you might be able to start connecting some dots you might want the show to kind of naturally just expose to you. The last big thing I want to talk about before we get to the twist is there is this point, and I think it's very clever the way they set this up, because this is something in the comics where they have Hal a hologram, if you will, which I laughed really, I laughed really hard at that because I was like, "Yay, pun!" I was like, "Take that, Jamarco." But I laughed really hard at that pun, but also the fact that that is actually something in the comics. I'm blanking on the term that they use for it, but they there's actually a way you can actually project yourself across light years to another Green Lantern. So they kind of
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that is kind of a comic book thing. What I love about this though, that this Hal is nice. This Hal is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Like he's so cordial. You're like, "What the shit?" Like you used to be like this, and then you find out that he hasn't basically backed himself up in a decade. So you're like, "What the fuck happened in the last 10 years that's caused you to be this broken?" And I think that's going to be a really interesting conversation. I think that's where we're going to get a lot of the meat and potatoes with Sinestro, because I feel like because when we see Sinestro even in the trailer, it looks like he's in a jail cell. So it's like, okay, Sinestro is probably done. Maybe he's not gone full, Yellow Lantern yet, but he's done something that's caused the Lanterns go like, "Oh, okay, we need to, you stay here." So I'm very curious about that as well. But now we gotta get to the twist. So I will say spoilers from here on out, but before we do that, just so we can give an actual grade, before we get to spoiler shit, I will simply say for a pilot, it's always hard to grade a pilot because first episode, but solid A for me, because when this ended, I immediately was like, "Oh shit, I normally try to wait, a couple of weeks for a show to have multiple episodes. I actually might break that rule and actually watch next Sunday." Like I really enjoy. I know. I know they're breaking me down. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot, and it feels like we're getting there with John, but I'm genuinely just curious, like how we're gonna get there. What we have coming up. So yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, solid A for me. But yeah, Canada, great. What you think?
I also, surprisingly, I enjoyed this a lot. My very few nitpicks are Nebraska exists in the DC universe. Does it? Does it actually exist?
Yeah.
And that's a silly, just nerd nitpick. Like, well, hey, there's no New York. Why is there a Nebraska? The Harry Potter shout out seemed more like a reminder that.
Oh yeah. Okay. I hated that shit. I like that. I was like, guys, come on now.
You got the right Harry Potter right here at HBO. Don't forget to mention it. That's what it seemed like. Maybe it wasn't, but it's really hard to tell with the dialogue being so good without mentioning sponsors. It's a really slow burn. It is hard to rate a pilot because you don't want to rate a slow burn until it concludes. But just the feeling of where this is going is pretty awesome. I definitely would binge this. I could see myself breaking my "I don't mind waiting weekly" rules as well if it was actually all available at once. Really enjoy the performances, and yeah, one of my favorite moments. It wasn't exciting or shocking at all. It was just John sitting and observing an interrogation by Hal, and the sheriff next to him freaking out and getting scared over something happening and being like, "We should run. We need to get out of here." And Hal, without breaking contact with what he's observing, he just goes, "Nah, it'd be too late." I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That tiny bit of dialogue just said so much. And Aaron, the actor, gave so much characterization to Jon Stewart with just that little moment. And I'm so impressed by that. Yeah, I'm going to give it an A too.
Nice.
You watch me say all that and be all like C+. No,
right. When you get the finale, you're gonna be like, well, it started off strong, and
I'm not sure they could. I'm not even sure how they could kill the hype.
You'll find a way. Go back. I can already hear your letterbox review. The blackest night truly is the darkest before the dawn. Like I can hear you typing it. Like, wow, Hunter was right. Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
I did have a question after this. So speculation is like, no Battinson in the DC universe. Too dreary, too dark. Is it? Because after Lanterns, which is in this DC universe, are we sure that Pattinson is too dark for this universe? Because I think he would fit right in, honestly.
I'm gonna be real, man. The fact that you say that, I'm kind of sitting here. I'm like, yeah, they might as well.
Like, I'm not trying to ruin any Brave and Bold plans, but Pattinson and Hal Jordan would be best friends. In that don't talk kind of way, you know, they would just look at each other and get it, you know, without saying a single word. I'm not saying handshakes and drinks after work, but they just kind of eye each other up and down and be like, I love this guy, without ever saying that, of course.
Yeah, no, I don't actually disagree with you.
I get this person.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, totally. But yeah, so A's for us for Lanterns. But okay, we gotta get to the twists. So okay. So most of the episode takes place in 2016. Yeah, 2016. And then they jump ahead to present day, basically. And we see Jon Stewart with the goatee, which I was very like, see Stephen Amell, you can grow the facial hair for a DC character, you ass.
He looks good too. He looks really good.
He does. I was like, oh shit, it looks so good. I was like,
he looks good anyways, but yeah, with the goatee.
Yeah,
so does Sheriff Carey, actually. She's pretty hot.
Oh no, she's fine. I was like, yeah, no, like no, it's a very attractive cast.
It's a lot of very beautiful people.
Yeah. But he showed
Nebraska.
Yeah, a lot of hotties out in Nebraska. It's all that corn.
So yeah, the twist. Here we go.
Eat your corn puffs, kids. You too can be a hottie in Nebraska. but yeah, fuck out of here. But we go back to that same town, to that same auditorium, and it's snowing. It's super dark, and we see Hal Jordan, and he's dead. He's been shot in the fucking head. And what I love is like a perfect shot, and I mean it's a perfect shot. You see Hal's hands; they're covered in snow. There's no lantern ring, but the way they shoot it, you can't see if Stewart has the ring on. Like, it's such a meticulous shot. I was like, God damn, like, because I rewound it too, because I'm sure they're like, oh, we know you fuckers gonna try to figure it out.
Yeah, frame by frame this mystery.
Yeah. And I went back. I was like, you sons of damn it. Like, so genuine credit to them, because they were thinking ahead. They're like, yeah, fuck y'all. You're not gonna you're not tricking us. So credit to them on that front. But I will say, what a fucking twist. I was like, damn. So is Hal actually dead? Is that like the hologram version of like I'm very curious if they're gonna try to write themselves out of it, or if Hal is actually gone. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, you do have 10 years worth of a time gap here. So I mean, you could fill in the initial mystery while doing this mystery, and that's kind of what I feel like they did with what was that, season 3 of True Detective? I mean, they did it with the first season too, but like with
Dwarf Ali's time jumping all around it.
Yeah, like I so it feels like they're gonna kind of do a little bit of that here, which I don't mind at all. I think it'll be an interesting way to tell the story. But I'll be real, dude, that blew me away. I was like, what the hell? I was like, oh, okay. Like it like I have to give the show credit just for kind of hit me with that stinger that I actually went, okay, I'm actually even more invested now. How the fuck you're gonna pull this off? Like, what were you kind of thinking when you got to that point?
Well, I thought it was very upsetting because Hal actually looked happy.
Yeah.
Now that can happen. I'm just saying that's not a spoiler. I'm not saying that it's. Well, I mean, we're talking spoilers, but
yeah, we are.
it is a very troubling thing to see a dead body because the dead body looks at peace. The term is, and it's like, oh, this petty asshole who was just trying to start a fight in a bar 10 years ago is happy to be dead. That's upsetting.
Like, what the fuck?
But it could just be you're watching HBO and this is what a dead body looks like. I have no idea what to think. Like, who would shoot a lantern? One, world celebrity. Two, and how does this tie into what Hal was trying to figure out in Nebraska 10 years ago? And yeah, that one, damn, that's a good hook.
Yeah.
I'm so shocked that it didn't open with that hook. Because
Really?
then, people
Okay.
would keep watching the episode. But, Lindelof, I guess he's got awards for writing.
Wow.
And would know
better. Okay. I love how you're just like, all right, you just made Watchmen. I guess you know.
Yeah. Watchmen. Yeah. When they actually revealed who Hooded Justice was. Yeah, spoilers for Watchmen. Well, half spoilers for Watchmen. If you're a fan of the comic, you've already seen it. If not, they reveal who Hooded Justice was. That blew my freaking mind.
Yeah,
I was like hyped for. Still now, I'm still hyped about it. And I remember my wife being like, "Who's Hooded Justice?" I'm like, "Oh, you got to read this. You got to read this." And I get my phone book size Watchmen and just plunk it in front of her. It's gonna blow your mind. Read this. We'll watch the episode again. And she's like, "I'm not reading a 600-page phone book."
Boo.
Yeah.
Wow, Amy. God.
So yeah, I'm feeling like, and I don't think I'm ever going to be like, oh, this turned out to be crap, because maybe me. Maybe, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm not an overhyped person. I don't think I get disappointed if something doesn't match my overhype.
Because you're good at that. Yeah, I don't.
What I want more than anything right now, I just want not Hal. I want Jon Stewart to have a good cry. I know that sounds crazy. Like, Brad? What are you talking about? I think he deserves to have one.
Oh, he's gonna have one. like that'll probably in the end of episode 7 when his dad gets killed.
Yeah. Oh, and he is carrying a kind of pain that just breaks your heart.
Yeah.
And you've also heard, I'm confessing a lot of things to you today. Like, you've heard me over and over and over again, especially with the comic book genre. Who should play this character? Who cares? Just give it to whoever. It doesn't matter. It's a comic book character. I would not recast Aaron Pierre as Jon Stewart.
Wow. Okay, that might be the biggest compliment you could give this show. Actually, that's high praise for you. Like, that is
right.
That's a big deal.
I was the asshole that to rock the boat. I was like, I mean, if they want to recast Corn Sweat, they can. Remember that? And you guys weren't taking the bait.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, and we were like, "What is wrong with you?" Yeah, you're like,
yeah. After one film that I actually really enjoyed too. I don't know why I said that.
Anyone could play Superman. Henry Cav. I mean.
What?
Sorry,
I would
Henry,
love to see a decade down the line if Corn Sweat wants to meet Cavill's Superman and not even fight a villain, just to show him like that human beings matter. That'd be a fun little crossover. Yeah. You don't have to begrudgingly save people, Henry Cavill Superman. They actually matter. And he'll be like, "What are you talking about?"
He's like you're a goddamn liar.
You're crazy like my father. And then he starts sobbing right there.
Oh, that's fucked. like what happened to your dad? Oh, we talked yesterday. What happened to your dad? Oh, well, there's this tornado.
And you watched him die? Oh my gosh. David Corset's Superman would be like, "I'm sorry your father did that to you." And poor Cavill's Superman would just break down right there. Right? He did do that to me. I could have saved him, and he said no. Why would my dad make me an accomplice in his murder? Don't touch me, Lois.
And then Snyder would pop up and be like, "You don't understand that in the third Superman was going to throw batarangs. It was going to make sense." And
you see, it all ties into Greek mythology, because the mascara is Greek mythology, and Greek mythology is also Krypton, right? He was going to go down that path. Kryptonian mythology is Greek mythology, and Gotham is New Jersey.
Yeah, Diana didn't ask to be Wonder Woman, just like Mary didn't ask to be born with the man who would save the universe. You see how I connect everything?
Yeah.
God
do
damn
you
it.
think he thinks like Jesus begrudgingly saved all mankind when he reads the Bible?
Oh man, if he was writing like the story of the Ark,
I might watch that.
Like,
I might watch that.
No one gets saved on the Ark. There's like one animal that gets saved, and it's
There's
somehow like a metaphor.
3 animals show up, and like the 2 animals, the 3 species. Let's just say elephants, and the 2 elephants are all like "Roar!" at the 3rd elephant, and the 3rd elephant walks off into the flood, all sad. And Zack Snyder's like, good shit. That's good shit.
Right. That elephant died for your sins.
So never forget. See, it all ties up. We'll never forget because I'm a genius.
All right. Before I get to Snyder Bros even more coming after me, I'm gonna end it here. Plus, I know you. No, yeah, dude, you know me. I don't care. But I also know you have a review to get to. So, Canada, before I let you go, sir, can you please tell people where they can find you?
Oh yeah, you could catch me on oneofus.net. We're reviewing Camp Rock.
Which I just reviewed last night, and to those of y'all who suffered through that, I am sorry, man. Like,
but also in the next couple of weeks, probably next week, what is it? Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, which probably the most unique film I've seen all summer. So check out that film and review if you want to at oneofus.net.
Hell yeah. So in terms of yours truly, gonna have a stream for Wednesday, be watching AEW Dynamite this weekend. Oh god, what am I reviewing this weekend? Crap. I'm tired. I'm forgetting what I'm reviewing, but yeah, I'll have stuff this weekend. I promise. There will be something that will be uploaded. Oh, what am I talking? Mutiny. I'm watching Mutiny. Statham, baby. Yeah, yeah, Statham. So I'll have a review for Mutiny up by this Sunday. But Canada, thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate you. Always a pleasure. We will have him on. We'll have him back on when Lanterns wraps up, because I actually would love to get your thoughts on how they wrap all this shit up. But I think it's 9. Wow, it's 9 episodes. Apparently, it's 9 episodes. Shit.
Yeah,
okay.
Seems like a lot. Yeah.
So we'll see. Like, I mean, I'm curious. The fact it's 9 is kind of like
these odd number of episodes on HBO, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, like it's almost like they do it on purpose. It's like everyone else is doing 8.
Yeah, that
fuck off. We're doing that.
Yeah, that Larry David sketch comedy about America history was 7 episodes. That's weird. Why 7?
Yeah, I still need to watch that too, because I heard that's
pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
Is it? I think. All right, cool.
He's a hilarious man. So.
Oh yeah, he's fucking brilliant. But Canada, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate you. Everyone, have a good rest of your week. Stay safe. Take care of each other. Give someone a hug. Give someone a compliment. Could all use more positivity. And never forget, as always, to keep it real, y'all. Thank you so much for again, Canada, for stopping in. Have a great one, y'all. Have a good Monday. Cheers.